What's up everyone, this is your host Manik, welcome back to another video. So I've been an Android user since the past 10 odd years now, and for what it's worth, the experience was quite good in certain aspects, like the freedom you get to modify everything, from the icons to the launcher. But this is only one side of this coin. A thing that has always annoyed me the most is the update situation with Android smartphones. So my first device was a Galaxy Y back in 2012, and it was a great smartphone for that price at that time. So in 1 year of usage, there was no major update that was provided on the device. But those were the early stages of Android as a mobile operating system, and iOS used to be around 5 years old back then, and used to be a great operating system overall. But as an Android user, I never had my share of that ecosystem as a whole. I just don't get the whole concept of the Apple ecosystem in practical life, even though I understand it completely on paper, and that's a totally different thing. So I decided to use an 8-year-old iPhone 5 in 2020. Given we are going to have a much powerful iPhone 12 this year, I got this device from someone just to get the overall experience. As I got my first Android device around the same time this iPhone was launched, and I am retracing my steps to the day if I would have purchased an iPhone instead. Oh, and surprise, it had a nano SIM card slot 8 years back. And before we get to it, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon next to it to stay notified about the latest videos from this channel. If I pick up an Android device from that time, hardware wise too, that might not have aged this well. There are barely any major scratches on this thing, and it looks great even now, apart from those huge bezels, and it feels weird to use this device, as no recent device will fit this way in your hands or your pocket. You can literally reach every corner of the display easily with one hand. The display here is a 4-inch, approximately HD in resolution, and is protected by Gorilla Glass in this metallic body. It is powered by custom Apple Silicon A6 processor that used to be one of the fastest back in the early days. It is clocked at 1.3 GHz with a PowerVR GPU and 1 GB of RAM. Plus it used to run on iOS 6, and unlike any other device, it got 4 major updates and is now on iOS 10, which is a big deal for mobile devices. On Antutu, the score isn't something big, but still good for an 8-year-old device, mind you. Rest, it had all other things like basic sensors, Samsung, an 8-megapixel back camera plus a 1.2 megapixel front facing camera. And I still remember it used to take some amazing images back in the day. I even shot some images on this device now, and they are usable more or less, at least from that back camera. Talking about the whole ecosystem, I do have close to something that made me experience a bit of that ecosystem, and they are the AirPods. Clones. Honestly, it feels really nice to see this pop up, and this is what I was talking about. Even the older iPhones support most of the newer features and accessories, and this is something Android just cannot achieve even now. As you know, this iPhone 5 had Bluetooth 4.0, and the process is still quick and feels nice every single time. So yeah, speaking about the software part, this one is running on iOS 10.3.3, which might not be the newest version of iOS, but still, it got 4 major updates, and even to this date, it is running smoothly, as long as you don't start gaming on this device, because it starts to get warm and glitchy. But as long as I use it for normal calls and music, things were great and smooth. And I was surprised, because no Android phone can hold up just like this with 1 GB of RAM. So you get the idea, right? So still after all these years, I wasn't able to experience the whole ecosystem in depth, but I get a fair idea of how connected devices might feel. And if you are someone in the ecosystem, upgrading your device after years makes a lot of sense. And it's good for the environment too, something we just not care about often. And this one had that old school PIN as a lock screen password, and no Touch ID or Face ID, as we did not have one back in those golden days when phones were innovative. Fun fact, this iPhone 5 costed around 47,000 in India at that time. So if you think the newer iPhones are too costly, so for now, I'm going to switch back to my OnePlus 6. Because man, this screen is too tiny, and I did that for you guys. So don't forget to drop a like. So that's it. This was my experience with an iPhone 5 in 2020, which was not as bizarre as I thought it would be, but it was surprisingly good. So don't forget to subscribe and watch some other content in the meanwhile, and I'll see you guys in the next one.